of the citizens there. We will also attempt to provide a rotating specialist clinic where we'll have a specialist associated and affiliated with our hospital participating in care at this health center in Livonia. And we may have a future option to provide rehabilitation or other health services in the Livonia market at a health center to be situated in that community. Administration made that recommendation to the Finance Committee, and the Finance Committee approved that recommendation earlier this evening to be brought before the full board. What I want to do is spend just a few minutes, not a terrible amount of time, just going through some key facts about urgent care and about our general plan. Generally speaking, urgent care is not at all a new phenomenon in healthcare. It's an item that's been around for a couple of decades, but has recently become much more attractive to a number of patients. Essentially, it's designed to focus on walk-in care, making a shift from the traditional physician model of establishing a long-term relationship and having appointments, but to providing care on a walk-in basis. Open every evening, Monday through Friday. In fact, our business plan calls for the Urgent Care Center to be open roughly from 9 to 9, Monday through Friday, each day of the week, with one weekend day of availability, likely on Saturdays, 8 hours. It needs to provide suturing for minor lacerations and provide an X-ray service, which is also one of the key definitions of urgent care. Just a couple of quick facts. I know board members had an opportunity to review this over the course of the last few weeks, but there's about 9,000 urgent care centers across the country. Half are in freestanding facilities, standalone buildings. The other half are in retail centers, so really kind of an interesting split there. Most are open 7 days a week, average about 51 visits a day. But you see here again, it's all about convenience and cost. 69% have wait times of less than 20 minutes. So really focused on helping people who have an urgent need, getting in and seeing the provider quickly. Typically, the services of urgent care are those types of things that you would expect. Immediate care of injury or illness, having an on-site X-ray, on-site laboratory testing, suture, basic sprain and fracture care, acute pain management, not chronic pain management, immunizations for children and others, routine school and sports physicals, being very active in occupational medicine and sports medicine, and other primary care are typically the types of things that are provided in an urgent care setting. This information came from Becker's Healthcare as well as Press Ganey. The urgent care movement is all about convenience and cost. Across the nation, the average reimbursement per urgent care visit is about $103. That compares to quite a bit more for a visit to the emergency department and here at Economy even. We do well, we do better than the national average, but certainly some potential savings. But also about the length of stay. If you come to an urgent care center, you're going to be in and out in less than an hour. Certainly better than the national average in ERs of 4 hours and 7 minutes. But we definitely want to give a shout out to our emergency department that far beats the national average there with a 2-hour length of stay. Dr. Brandon, congratulations to you and the crew. Nice job. What is interesting about this project, though, is that we have gained a fair amount of support throughout the community. We're grateful to have Jennifer Colby of the Economic Development Group in Livonia here with us. She wrote a great letter and has been very helpful to me over the last couple of weeks as I've pursued this. Clearly, the Development District supports us considering this type of project. What they've learned is that Livonia is rapidly becoming a bedroom community and is looking to expand its health services, and really encouraging us to continue our effort as a tax-supported entity to meet the residents' needs throughout Wilson County. So Jennifer, thank you for your letter. It was very helpful. I appreciate your comments. What we know is the market in Livonia is very rich in development. We're knowing that the population is growing at a rate of 3.5 6% a year. Relatively young average age, 39.3 years. And what's really interesting is the school district, which has an enrollment of 3,400 children, is very substantial for a town that inside the city limits has 1,200 people. So we know that in the subdivisions surrounding the area there are a lot of families, and that is definitely connected to the urgent care market. What the hospital has been talking about over the last little bit of time is how we expand our presence throughout Wilson County. Just a few months ago, our presence was mostly situated right here on our campus here in Floresville. But August 1st, we expanded our reach to open the North Campus there at Highway 775 and 181. Dr. Peterson's there and is doing wonderfully over the course of the last couple of months. This move to open an urgent care center in Livernia would expand our access and geographic impact to the north, and we're very, very excited about continuing to reach the taxpayers of Wilson County in their home communities. Pretty excited about that item. We have found a great location. We're very excited about this location, and we're currently in the process of finalizing lease arrangements. But this is off of Highway 87. It's a retail center adjacent to the Life Check drug store that happens to be right there. And I can hit a 5-iron from this place to the school district. So we're really excited that we're right in the middle of the community in terms of the school arrangement. And Keith, yes, I do hit a 5-iron a long, long way.
I just said maybe a driver.
Maybe a driver. Anyway, I'm very excited about the location. What's fascinating about the location is it was a former medical clinic. It has about 4,700 square feet that's completely furnished with exam tables, with computer equipment, with an x-ray machine, with a number of items that will be very helpful in the development of this center. Some more information about it. The neighbors include a retail pharmacy, a fairly affluent subdivision, a bank, an energy co-op, and a school district. Market materials suggest that the traffic counts over 13,000 cars per day drive right by that area. Again, it's completely finished. And I do have to say that over the last couple of weeks that I've been working on this space has been very competitively bid after. There are other parties who have been interested in this, and we're very fortunate to be in the position to be able to consider expanding a lease in this arrangement. Right now we have an exclusive option to complete that lease arrangement. It's a 5-year lease at following rates, and that does include the furniture's equipment and an x-ray machine, as well as the promise of some good signage, which I think will be very helpful to the service. One of the things that we're currently working on is work with the medical community to figure out exactly how the facility is staffed. Dr. Brand and I and others have been working very hard on that, working to make sure that we can develop the right group of providers. Dr. Brand, what I knew we had been talking about, the Finance Committee said we have to bring the A-team. And I know that that's definitely been part of our strategy over the last little bit. But looking very much at trying to sort out how those arrangements work, and have been working very closely with Dr. Brand and others to make that happen. Financially, I know that the Finance Committee thoroughly reviewed a pro forma of this, and we're very pleased with the potential that this investment would make for the hospital. But we really know that this interest is just as much about serving the needs of our community, making sure that we have services in the areas where our community residents need them, and that is what makes the investment in this urgent care center so attractive. Essentially what we have been working on over the last little bit of time is developing the marketing plan and timeline. The reality is that we want to have 4 key focuses in our marketing objectives. Number 1, educating the region about urgent care. This is a new service. This is a new product. This is not like going to the hospital. It's not like going to a physician's clinic. The urgent care setting is completely different, and we want to spend some time educating folks on when to use the urgent care and what to expect. We're going to build that image around convenience. We're here when you need care. We're here when you're coming home from San Antonio with your job, and we're going to have the doors open and available for you to seek services at the Livernia Urgent Care Center. Obviously, the part of the play that also is very important is the development of a specialist clinic in that same space, a rotating specialty clinic. We already have commitments from a number of specialists who have offered to spend some time in Livernia and serve that market, and we know that will continue to grow in the weeks and months that follow after we make this announcement of this business plan. But some very talented people have expressed some interest in practicing in Livernia, and we want to make sure the community is well informed of that. The fourth objective in our marketing plan is to clearly connect with the schools and businesses. We know that urgent care is the type of thing that many school children have needs for. We know that we have a very active athletic program in Livernia, which is also going to be a good utilizer of the urgent care center. And certainly occupational medicine in some of the businesses throughout the area will be another area that's well served by our Conley Memorial Medical Center Health Center in Livernia. If the full board accepts the recommendation of the Finance Committee, we'll be aggressively starting our marketing timeline. We have plans to visit with Livernia community leaders over the course of the next couple of days. That does include the school system. We'll be beginning to coordinate announcements with newspapers and other entities over the course of the next couple of weeks. And we also know that we'll have a very active social media campaign around this. We believe that the relatively young Livernia market will be responsive to a social media campaign, and we'll have that at play as well. We hope to be in the process of opening the facility over the course of late November general time frame, then late November, early December, and we'll be very aggressive in our attempts to try to make that happen. Frankly, bottom line is we're going to market. That is the key of getting the word out of any new service. The marketing team threw a couple of concepts out just as general starting points. Certainly not saying that this is the only ideas, but I think they did a nice job. I really like the idea of get treated, not seated. That really captures the whole essence of urgent care. So we'll be talking about those over the next little bit of time and hopefully capturing the community's attention with some creative marketing. We thought a lot about a lot of things, and I'll wrap up my presentation in just a couple of slides. But this board does represent a major move for us. We believe the market is very competitive, and we want to be a first mover to serve the residents of the Livernia area. This gives us an opportunity to serve our taxpayers in a way that we haven't done in recent days, and I think that that's definitely an opportunity for us in Livernia. The location that we have chosen does have a relatively high ease of entry. It'll be a relatively simple project to put together after we continue the process of recruiting providers, and it gives us an opportunity to work with our medical community in a variety of different ways. But probably the point that I'd like to ask you to take away the most is I firmly believe that the urgent care model, the convenient care model, is well aligned with the needs of a veteran community like Livernia. Livernia has described themselves as a veteran community where people go to San Antonio to work. When they come home, they may have needs that don't require a next-day doctor's appointment or something along those lines, and I believe that will connect very nicely to the urgent care strategy. What I asked the Finance Committee to consider in terms of recommendations were 3 motions, and did appreciate the support that the Finance Committee did give to each of these motions. The first was to authorize the CEO to execute the preliminary marketing plans. Essentially, I do want to be communicating in Livernia very quickly, and perhaps as soon as tomorrow and Monday, about our plans and get the support of the board to do that. We do have a lease arrangement that is currently negotiated in spirit, but going back and forth between the attorneys on the 34-page document. We need the ability to finalize that agreement. It's a good conversation about that, but going well. And then finally, the ability to approve the business plan in its entirety, and the ability to work with Dr. Brandon and others to finalize provider agreements to open a Livernia Health Center, including urgent care, specialty, rotating specialist clinic, and perhaps the opportunity for rehab in the future. The Finance Committee did approve those motions, and I just wanted to share that information with you for today's full board. Yes, sir.
Dr. Brand, can you give us your opinion on all of this and what your thoughts are?
Well, my thoughts are that it's a great idea. The building is great. I think that I have some providers that are on my staff and other places who I have in mind to potentially be the anchors in this. A couple of people that I have in mind would be, they're great providers. They understand patient care. They understand patient satisfaction. They're smart, nice, competent people, and I think that's a key ingredient. If you have duds in the place, it's not going to work that great. But I think the people that so far I'm thinking about, I've had initial conversations, I don't go too far because this is still planning stage, are quite interested. And I think the facility itself looks great. Mr. Burnside, I went over there Sunday night. I actually couldn't believe how nice it was. I think it's a great location. Since we started this conversation, maybe 4 months or 4 weeks or 5 weeks, something like that, I have done some research and reached out to some national experts in this industry. I'm not an expert in this industry at this point. And I talked to a guy the other day named David Stern that just recently saw a big chain of urgent cares. He's a physician, he's an internist in Chicago, Illinois, I think maybe Kentucky areas. And he said, he asked him what was the common agreement with the ones that failed. That's what I want to know, is what causes urgent care to fail. And he said, he said, the most important thing is just like real estate, is location, location, location. You want to be on a busy street, you want to have a good sign, which Mr. Burns has negotiated, I think the top place in the sign, in that street side sign, and you want to have good providers. He said you'll be successful if you can do those things, and I think it'll be somewhere between moderately and wildly successful would be my personal bet. We don't know. We want to get the right people in there and make sure that they take great care of our customers, our clients, and our patients. But I think we can do that. I think it's and the other side of that, I don't like to do things because I'm worried about somebody doing it before me. But the truth is if CMMC doesn't act on this building, I can't believe it's been sat empty for a long time. I haven't seen it. I can't believe it. If we don't do this, somebody's going to do pretty quickly. And that's not the reason to make this decision, but that's a fact.
We would continue to find somebody to fill it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, has the development district been trying to actively find somebody to fill it?
We have done some preliminary, yes, we have talked to some physicians groups, and we hadn't found the right match, but we did have a lot of interest from Nova Medical recently.
I guess I think we're a little stunned that it's still available, but maybe it's just what we want to do is a better fit than a private practice of some kind.
Let's not postpone the agony. Let's make the motion.
I think that's a good question, though. That's exactly the right question. Why is it still? Have y'all seen it? It's a really interesting. Yeah, it's a pretty. This is not a pig with lipstick. This is a really nice place.
Relatively new.
Yeah, I was quite impressed. I was surprised it was so nice. I've been in clinics that kind of look like little retail shopping center clinics, which are not very nice. This is not like it.
For those of you who were not at finance, I think I can speak on behalf of everyone at the finance group. Everybody was, all the board members seated here were at finance. We will do anything we can to support that, anything that is needed to support that claim.